50, 45. There goes Davis.
Oh, my God.
Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everyone, to a brand new edition of the Dream Wager, episode 592. Today is Friday, November 21st, 2025. Okay, we're almost a few days away from Thanksgiving. How you doing?
Yeah, just a couple days away. Honestly, I'm just looking forward for a day off, Dill. As a Patriots fan, watching the Buffalo Bills losing is shocker. I'm doing great. But from a man who just worked all day, who just got home from some traffic, I'm doing okay, Dill. I'm doing okay.
Traffic on a Friday, that's tough.
And I just came from Philly, so you know how that goes.
Yeah, I know how that goes. All right, kid. Well, let's get right into it. Like you said, Texans, they upset the Buffalo Bills 23-19. I thought we handicapped the game perfectly. We said, hey, or at least I think we were both kind of leaning with the points. We said the under cashes, Josh Allen anytime interception, Fairbairn over 1.5 field goals. You hit your prop, right?
No, well, I'll go 1 for 1. I said over Dalton Schultz. He only had 1 reception. And I said James Cook.
And he got in immediately.
On a bomb. So
yeah, it was like a 45-yarder to start the game. And when that happened, I said, oh, well, it might be a blowout. But then after that, Josh Allen, I mean, up and down, did not look good. That defense caused so many problems for him. And Davis Mills outplayed Josh Allen yesterday.
Who would have thought that? To me, this is just you got to give credit to DeMeco Ryans. I think this was a game he solely outcoached Doug McDermott. This was a defensive battle, and we saw it, Dill. That defense was relentless. In just 4 days of rest, constantly going after Josh Allen. And let's not forget, this is one of the better offensive lines in all of football. Offensive line that usually doesn't deal with injury. Dill, they have a lot of continuity. And this Texas defensive line, by just rushing forward, by the way, constantly, was able to get to Josh Allen 8 times, was able to force 3 turnovers, scored a couple points off those turnovers as well. Besides James Cook, like you said, that 45-yard run and Ray Davis kickoff return, it was curtains after that, Dill. You got 6 total points from your offense from a huge James Cook run and then a kickoff return. So Josh Allen, he has to play better. Not for now. We know he's an MVP caliber player. We saw it last year. We just saw it on Sunday when he threw for 3 touchdowns and rushed for 3 touchdowns. But this is 3 straight, well, not 3 straight road games, but this is 3 road games in the season where you lost to Carolina badly, right? You lose to Miami, and now you lose to
No, they beat Carolina on the road. They lost to the Falcons
on
the road. They lost to Miami and now Texans.
Yeah, you lose to the Falcons. Look how bad that loss looks now, right? You lose to Miami. Both those games you got blown out. And then you just honestly got outplayed by a backup quarterback in the Houston Texans. Give credit to that defense. To me, that was the storyline in DeMeco Ryans as well. But also David Mills, though. David Mills, since coming in as the backup, he's 3-0.
Quarterback controversy?
Nah. If he was going out there, lighting it up, averaging 30-plus points a game, he has, 8, 9, 10 passing touchdowns in these 3 games, maybe is a controversy. I still think C.J. Stroud is the quarterback to be, but you can't fault how well David Mills has been playing. So if it is a controversy, he has at least earned it to be a controversy. So shout out David Mills. Shout out to Houston Texans. And, hey, watch out. They're making a playoff push right now at 6-5, though.
Are you worried about the Bills?
Me speaking as a Patriots fan, absolutely.
Just as a football fan.
As a football fan, I'm a little concerned about the Bills, like I just alluded to. You lost to Atlanta on the road. You lose to Miami on the road. And not for nothing, Houston, Texas is an above average team. We're giving us might be a top 5 defense, by the way. But it was David Mills in a backup quarterback you lost to. All these 3 games on the road. You know what that spells to me, Dylan? Pretenders. That's what the Buffalo Bills are. I think Buffalo Bills proved last night they just might not be a Super Bowl caliber team because you got to go on the road and win these tough games, and you're losing to these mediocre teams like Atlanta, like Miami, and Houston. Give credit to Houston, but if you can't beat those other 2 teams on the road, what do I expect you to? And Houston, I don't expect you to go into Baltimore.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to go to Indianapolis. Don't expect you to go into New England. So if you can't beat some of these other teams, how I expect you to beat the big dogs in the AFC? So I think last night proved Buffalo Bills might be pretenders.
Yeah, and to be honest, they got a few games to end the season on the road against Pittsburgh, against you guys, against the Browns, who I know the Browns season's over, but at home they are a little feisty.
That
So
defense is live any day.
the way they're playing, yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs, but they're gonna go on the road. To your point, and I would also like to congratulate you on winning the AFC East.
No, it's not because we could slip a game here or there. Joe Flacco could go throw for 400 on any given, maybe 300 any given Sunday. I feel like we could possibly lose in Baltimore. Hey, we could possibly lose to the Bills. I highly doubt we lose, or 3 out of our last 5, but there's a shot.
No, there's no shot. You guys are gonna win. Let's be honest. But I agree to your point. Watch out for the Texans now. AFC South is a little feisty group. I'll tell you that. They don't have outside of Indianapolis, Jacksonville, Houston. They're a little feisty. They've won 3 in a row now. They have some ground to gain on Indianapolis. They play them next week. They actually play the Colts twice. They split with the Jags, so watch out for them. I think there's an opportunity for the Texans. Do you think they make the playoffs?
Well, as of right now, they're a half game back from the 7th seed. They are ahead of the Chiefs by a half game as well. So that's that's a give or take. If the defense plays the remainder of the season like they did yesterday, right? And CJ Stroud comes back, and let's just say he's an uptick performance of David Mills. If he could come in and play a little higher level than David Mills playing right now, and that defense plays the way it's playing, and Willie Marks is running the ball like that, absolutely. I think the Houston Texans, led by their defense, could make the playoffs. Now, can CJ Stroud outgun the Kansas City Chiefs for the remainder of the season? Can the Houston Texans outplay the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Kansas City Super Bowl is on the line this week.
Yeah. Can the Houston Texans outplay the Jacksonville Jaguars for the remainder of the season? Those are really the 2 questions. Yeah. The Houston Texans proved last night they are a playoff caliber team, but can they outgun these other 2 in the playoff picture?
Josh Allen has kind of got into his old ways, turning the ball over recently. I alluded to it towards the prop.
These last 3 games, he has 9 turnovers in these last 3 games. He only had 8 last season.
Yeah, he's turning back to old Josh Allen. He's dropped in the MVP. He is 4th now. Matthew Stafford leads at plus 125. Drake Mays plus 150. Jonathan Taylor, wow, plus 700. And Josh Allen is 16-1.
The fact that
the first 2 I agree with. I don't think Jonathan Taylor should be up there.
To me, Indiana Jones should be ahead of him.
It's a quarterback award. Let's call it what it is. Jonathan Taylor should win Offensive Player of the Year if he continues.
No doubt about it. Jonathan Taylor should win Offensive.
But that's what I'm saying. Why is he in the MVP conversation? Daniel Jones has regressed. Let's call it what it is. He's regressed a little.
He regressed a little bit, but I still think to this day he's playing a little better than.
Has he played better than Josh Allen this year?
Huh?
Has he played better than Josh Allen this year?
I'm going to say he's been a little more valuable than Josh Allen.
Would you take Indiana Jones or Patrick Mahomes this year? This year. Obviously, as a football player, we all would agree it's Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Still Patrick Mahomes.
Daniel Jones or Jalen Hurts?
This year or?
No, this year. Yeah, this year.
They're both, what? I think the Eagles are 9-2 as well. They're both 8. I like Daniel Jones, so I'm gonna have to say Jalen Hurts, the defender.
Yeah.
But
Even though you were telling me off air they're a bottom 5 offense this year.
bottom 10.
Bottom 10, okay.
No, that's a fact.
No, I know, but he's valuable.
Yeah. Last year, not to get off subject, the Eagles was rushing over 125 yards a game last year.
Yeah, they're doing like 70 something this year. That's a huge drop off. So the guys above Daniel Jones is 60-1 right now. People above him, Jordan Love, disagree with. Sam Darnold.
Okay.
I get, but he just threw 4 picks.
He had one bad game.
One bad game. Jared Goff. I get.
Understandable.
Bo Nix, I disagree with.
I understand it. He's 92.
Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jonathan Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes, no.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the Bills, they've lost their last 6 games in Houston now. They can't win in Houston.
And not for nothing, I didn't even know this going into Thursday night football. Josh Allen was undefeated on Thursday night. If I knew that, I would have sprinkled something on the money line. He was 8-0 on Thursday night football.
Yeah. All right, kid. Well, outside of your 1-1 on props, you hit the total barely, but we get there.
I'm not even gonna lie to you, people. I'm gonna be 100% honest. When Ray Davis returned that kick, I damn near shut off the game. I said it's going over. It's going over. He just ran it back right before half. I said, damn. Texas about to get the ball back. I said it's going over. So no need to watch.
6 total points in the second half to barely squeak under. Shout out Fairbairn. He gave you 12, 13 points in fantasy.
Yes. And Houston defense got me, I think, 12 or 14.
Nice. 2 picks. Yeah, 2 picks. Yeah, Josh Allen anytime interception at -117.
And I got James Cook on that team as well.
He had a good game. I also like what they're doing. By the way, if you took Christian Kirk, he was 7-1 plus 700. Christian Kirk anytime touchdown. He could have had 2 in the beginning. Davis Mills hit him on a little out route, just sailed it over him just a tad.
It was a few throws where David Mills, honestly, if he could have got back, he would have made. So I think David Mills, is a controversy. But if there is, I think he at least we can see why. We can see.
All right, kid. Let's get into these picks. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. So I wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching NFL Sunday. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink, I believe, here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Kid, I go back and forth. I'm happy that we have NFL, but we're already in week 12, kid. It's almost halfway done. No, it's halfway done already. So
halfway done, though. We don't have another 11 games.
No, we don't. And I'm sad. But some good games. Some teams on their bye. Byes are almost done. Thank God, no more international games. We could get the hell away from those. 7 games in the 1 o'clock window, which I do think, like last week, the 4 o'clock window was elite.
Bankers.
This week, the 1 o'clock window, I think, is elite. 4 o'clock, got some stinkers. There's four games in the 4 o'clock window. We got Sunday Night Football, and then Monday we'll touch on Sunday with the Panthers and the 49ers. But, kid, we will start with your New England Patriots hitting the road, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Patriots laying 7 on the road, -350 on the money line, +280 for the Bengals. Total is at 50.5. Can Joe Burrow play this weekend? They have till 4 p.m. on Saturday to activate him. He's been practicing with the first reps. I think he's gonna play.
I
I
don't
I
know.
I really I believe he's gonna play. They're gonna be without Jamar Chase. He was trying to spit on the floor. He said, but we all know what happened. I I don't know. It's still they listen to him as questionable. They have till 4. They play the Ravens though on Thursday for Thanksgiving. Maybe they wait till Thursday to play the Ravens. But I think he plays, man. I really do. They're without Trey Hendrickson, so the defense is still hurting for the Bengals. Drake May's playing really well. They have a really good run defense. Now I know people could say, they're due for some regression at some point, New England, and maybe that is true, but I don't know if it's this spot. I think it's a great teaser leg, especially if Joe Burrow comes back. I think Hunter Henry could have really big game. You know, they stink. The Bengals stink. Their defense stinks against tight ends. And I just think the matchup is just too strong for the Patriots. So I'll lay the 7. If Joe Burrow plays, what do you think the number comes down to? I think it comes down to like 4.
I say either 5.5, 4.5. I say 1.5 to 2.5 points. And I honestly think he won't play, Dill, because we saw the spread. Thank God, shout out Joe Burrow, because I was able to hit the 5.5, -5.5 with the Patriots, because he was participating in practice. But the line as of right now moved back to 7, which what makes me believe Joe Burrow will be out. So without Joe Burrow, no Jamar Chase, no Trey Henderson. These are the Cincinnati Bengals' 3 top players. I just don't feel like they have enough. Chase Brown, who's been running the ball better as of late, give credit there. T. Higgins, we constantly hit his over on this show, but that's been a bottom 5 defense all season long. Dated back to last season was a bottom 3. Now, like I said, no Jamar Chase. I feel like if we just load up the box, double coverage T. Higgins, we make Oviasa beat us on the offensive side. So if Joe Burrow and Oviasa could go out there and beat us, by all means, I just don't see it happening, Dill. Give me the New England Patriots. Like I said, shout out Joe Burrow. I was able to hit the 5.5 during the week. I'll lay the 7 with the Patriots. I think we win by double digits. Drake May is just playing on another level, and I just don't feel like Joe Flacco can light up our defense. He might have a couple drives, but light us up, I don't think so.
All right, let's go to the next game. We'll head to Chicago. Soldier Field with the Bears taking on and hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bears laying 2.5 here at home, -146 on the money line, +124 for the Steelers. Total is at 45.5. I said this last episode when we were doing our power rankings, and I kind of was shocked by Bears being in your top 10. I think the Bears are a very flawed team. Caleb is playing better. I admit that, but I don't think he's fixed. I think the difference in this game is who's going to win. How are they going to win if the Bears can't protect Caleb Williams? If he doesn't get sacked and they keep a clean pocket and they could run the ball with Monangai and DeAndre Swift, they're gonna win the game.
Yeah.
But if TJ Watt and this defense get pressure on Caleb Williams and sack him multiple times, I think that favors the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers, he's trying to play. He's another guy that's questionable. He owns them. It's one last time against the Bears. I think he might go out there and try to play. Or is it going to be Mason Rudolph? Honestly, we don't know right now. To be honest, I trust either team. I trust either quarterback here. Even Mason Rudolph, he's a competent backup quarterback. He's going to make a couple throws that they're going to ask him to make, hand the ball off, trust the defense. I'm going to trust my gut with this one. I'm going to trust the trend. I'm going to trust Mike Tomlin as a dog. I don't think the Bears defense is that good. I'm going to take the Steelers here. I also like the under. I think the total's kind of high at 45.5, but not a total guy, but I am going to take the Steelers.
Yeah, I tell you what, if Mason Rudolph is the starting quarterback, I'm with you. I definitely like the under 45.5. As of right now, Aaron Rodgers is the question mark. Is him being a question mark for the game, but is how you handicap the game. I think without Aaron Rodgers, it's the Bears all the way. With Aaron Rodgers, it might be a discount double check type of game. We know Aaron Rodgers has owned the Chicago Bears, especially in Soldier Field, for damn near for over a decade now. So if he's not able to go, Dill, I'm laying the 2.5 with the Chicago Bears here at home. I agree with you. You know, is Caleb Williams, you know, that guy yet? No, I don't think so. But is this has been much of an improvement from last year? Absolutely. Is the running game much more improved with Monangai and Swift? Absolutely. If DJ Moore and Medusa able to have a good game combined, I think that could be a recipe for success. And not for nothing, Dill, you said Chicago's defense is not that good. And not for nothing, I could honestly agree with that. But when has the Pittsburgh Steelers defense been good? Like twice all season? So I got to see it on the road. I got to see it outside in Chicago. Give me the Bears -2.5. With Mason Rudolph, possibly lock potential. With Aaron Rodgers, I might be a little nervous.
So are we subject to change your bet if Aaron Rodgers gets ruled playing tomorrow? Will you change your pick?
Would I flop it? No. But would I possibly just stay away from it? Yeah.
Okay.
But would I go all the opposite way and take the points, take the Steelers on the money line? No. Just because offensively, I still got some worries. You know, DK Metcalf hasn't really been the same. The tight end Washington, he's been something, but do I expect
he's huge?
Yeah. Do I expect Austin to hurt me? You know, Jalen Warren, who I think is pretty good. Do I expect Kenneth Gainwell to have multiple touchdowns? Not sure. So I'm still worried about a little bit of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. And if you take Aaron Rodgers out of there, give me Chicago all the way.
Yeah, recency bias, I guess as a whole for this season, they haven't been there. But lately they've been much better, the defense.
Yeah, like 4 out of the last 5 weeks, they've been better. First 8, 6, 7 weeks of the season, they were bad.
Let's head to the bank. Baltimore Ravens laying 13.5 against my New York Jets. My 1,500 for the Ravens, plus 870 for the Jets. Total 44.5. I will be there. If you're there, come say hi. Tyrod Taylor revenge spot, kid. And Tyrod Taylor covers spreads. 35-21 ATS in his career. This is too many points. Tyrod Taylor could run a competent offense, make a few throws, not turn the ball over. I think we could stay in this game like we did on Thursday. Off extended rest. Lamar continues to look banged up. I just don't think Lamar likes to practice on Wednesday. He's like, yeah, I'm good. He just doesn't like to practice. But and who do the Ravens have on a short week? We just talked about it. Thursday night on Thanksgiving against the Bengals, where Joe Burrow might be making his debut. This is a total look-ahead spot for the Jets. Think it's a great opportunity for them. Give me the Jets plus 13.5. It's too many points.
One thing I can honestly say and agree upon, I think it's just too many points. Don't get me wrong. I think the Baltimore Ravens are back. I think they should be the front runner to win the AFC North just on schedule alone. Lamar Jackson, ever since coming back from injury, he's been good. But I feel like with his legs, it hasn't really been the same Lamar Jackson. You know, it hasn't been MVP Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, any version is pretty damn good. But when we get MVP version, when he's doing with his arms and his legs, he's damn near unstoppable. We haven't saw that version of Lamar Jackson yet. And not for nothing, I feel with, Tyrod shaking things up, I feel like the offense will at least be able to move the ball a little more than Justin Fields has recently. Let's just be honest. Offensively, it's been a struggle through the passing game with Justin Fields. So I think Tyrod Taylor will bring some, just some firepower. He'll bring something different to the offense. So I think they'll make things a little bit interesting. To lose by 13, I'll say double digits. I'll say Baltimore 27-17, something like that. I think the Jets lose by 10. I'm with you. I'll take the 13.5.
Let's head down south. Tennessee Titans hosting the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks, another double-digit spread. We got 3 in a row. We're going to get to the Lions next. Tennessee, 13.5-point home dogs, plus 700, 11-1 for the Seahawks. Total is at 40.5. This is a huge number. West Coast team coming to the East Coast on an early time. Might mess up the body a little bit. I think the total is outrageous, though. It's insanely low, in my opinion. It's a lot of points, just like I said, for the Ravens, but I'm still fading the Titans at every chance I get. They are 6-24 in their last 31 games ATS. So I'll say this, I don't think Cam Ward looked terrible last week. He did some things that were right, but he just has no weapons offensively. Calvin Ridley is out for the season, and I just think this is a great spot on the road for the Seahawks. Coming off a loss, this defense is going to fuck up Cam Ward. Defense travels. I'm After that loss, I think this is a good spot for Seahawks. I'll lay the 13.5.
I would never advise or personally take laying 13 points on the road. But we just saw Seattle Seahawks. I'm not going to say lose a tough one because they deserve to lose the game after throwing 4 interceptions. But we saw them lose to a divisional rival against the Rams on the road. Now they're on the road again against arguably the worst team in football. I think Seattle is going to possibly have a field day with the Tennessee Titans. I just feel like this is the best spot for the Titans. Seattle coming off a loss. That defense, I think, is going to be fun. I think they're going to want to get out the game early, try to end it in 3 quarters. I think Sammy D, balls out. I think him and Jason probably have himself a day as well. Just because, he wants to get that bad taste out of his mouth. 4 interceptions last week. Wouldn't be surprised we see Sammy D, around 275, 3 tutties, something like that. Like I said, I wouldn't want to lay the 13. If you want to tease it, but I'll be honest, this might be the very few times I ever will lay more than 12.5, 13 points on the road. Give me Seattle minus 13. I think they win by 17 plus.
We have breaking news. The 49ers have grown increasingly frustrated with Brandon Ayuk's lack of communication. His presence at the team facility has become scarce, and despite efforts from those within the building to bring him back, his time in San Francisco appears to have run out. They have voided his guaranteed money. He's looking toward divorce 15 months after signing a 4-year extension, $120 million. He has played his last game in San Francisco. I knew it was bad when they told me he'd be ready in week 4, and we're on week 11 today? I don't even know. I guess your reaction real quick. Are you surprised?
I'm shocked by it.
Really? I'm not.
After, don't get me wrong. Am I surprised? Am I shocked that he's out for the remainder, that he might be hurt for the remainder of the season? No.
Quote.
Yeah, quote. But am I shocked that after just 14 months? Remember, he got that deal right before the season started.
Yeah, 15 months ago, 4 years, $120 million.
So, and just in less than 15 months, you just release him for nothing. To me, that's kind of dumb. Don't get me wrong. It is what it is, but you paid the man, I'm going to say at least 50, 60 million for in this season. And you got nothing out of it. He played how many games last year? Maybe 6, 7. This year, nothing. So you paid a wide receiver $60 million for 7 games.
They voided his guaranteed contract for 2026, and then Joe's in the chat saying
last year and this year, he got max. He got $30+ million.
At least he played a few games.
Yeah, but this year and last year, he got $60+ million, right?
Yeah.
49ers got nothing out of that. So, to me, that's a dumb move. Now, as a Patriots fan.
You want a lot cancer like that, though?
Cancer? Why not? Still, he could come in, help if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, kick rocks. If he's healthy, I think he could be an asset to help a winning team. I'm not saying he's a cancer. Let's not forget.
I am.
You can say that, Dill, but let's not forget 49ers was the team that put him in the situation. They could have paid that man a year and a half ago. They dragged his contracts in there.
Yeah, but it's not even about the money now. He's not hurt.
We don't know that.
They think that. They see him every day.
We also saw the contract negotiation go sour. Deebo Samuel, he got traded. We saw during this offseason and beginning of the season with Jawan Jennings. So maybe after, finalizing that deal, Brandon Ayuk was never happy with their organization. Possibly.
I'm gonna believe John Lynch in the ownership and GM. I'm not gonna believe a diva wide receiver, especially Brandon Ayuk. But Joe's funny. He goes, imagine stashing him on the bench all year in fantasy. He drafted.
In one of my leagues, he's been in my IR all year.
Well, don't know how that's gonna go. Did I say my pick? Yeah, we're both on Seattle. All right, let's go to Detroit. Another double-digit favorite here for the home team. Lions laying 12.5 here at home, minus 900 on the money line. The G-men plus 610, total 49.5. Jackson Dart still out. It doesn't matter to me, honestly. Lions are great off of a loss, especially Dan Campbell and Jared Goff. They have covered 13 in a row after a loss. Back at home, now going up against a defense that can't stop the run. Guys are getting benched because they're missing meetings. I love Jameis Winston, but I just think this is a tough spot for them. They fired their coach Bump last game against the Packers where they covered. Lions, I know Lions are playing the Packers on Thanksgiving, but the difference in this game is they're coming off a loss. They need this game, and I just think the matchup is great for Detroit. So, again, I'm going to lay the double digits here. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, I hate the fact that there's a bunch of huge spread games, but with the Lions, coming off a loss, now back at home versus the G-men, I think this is a great get-right spot. And like you said, look ahead for Thursday night. I think the Detroit Lions are going to try to take care of business early. If I wouldn't want to lay the big number, I think if anything, put them in a teaser just because maybe in the fourth quarter, Jameis could light them up and, backdoor cover the big number. But I do think Detroit jumps out to a huge lead, cruises to a victory. Give me Detroit, though, but I'm not going to say take this. I'm not advising nobody to take the points. All I'm saying is, wouldn't be surprised Detroit's up, 31 to 10 at half, and they just cruise and end up winning 37 to 20 something.
Yeah, they had their get-right game after the coach and Jameis. They had their bump last week, and they covered against the Packers. By the way, you said after he signed that contract, Brandon Ayuk, after he signed that contract, 25 catches for 374 yards, 0 touchdowns.
How many games he played, though? So that's not good.
4.
He finessed them, but that's not a good look for Brandon. Hopefully he could come back, man.
Yeah, hopefully. If he's healthy.
Yeah, when he was healthy, he was top 25 receiver, right?
I would say top 20. Yeah, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. All right, let's go to Lambeau Field. Green Bay Packers hosting the Minnesota Vikings. Green Bay laying 6.5 here at home, minus 300, plus 245 for the Vikings. Total is at 41.5. I think everyone knows where I'm going to go with here. I love the Vikings in this spot. On the road, think this is a great opportunity for JJ to play calmly. Calm football. I think at home, you could see at times some of the throws early on, he is sailing that shit. I think he's so fucking amped that towards the end of the game, I think he's a little more calm. And like that last drive where he scored, the ball's more accurate. So on the road, I just think this is a good spot for him. And, not just me, but the market. I think a lot of people are overvaluing this Packers team, including me. They're just not good covering big numbers. 0-6 ATS when favored by 4 or more points. They just can't cover games. Josh Jacobs is banged up. I think he's going to go, but he's banged up. The offensive line isn't good. And now going up against a Brian Flores defense who is going to blitz. They're going to attack. They're going to get pressure on you. I just think this is a bad spot for the Packers and Jordan Love. I think the Minnesota Vikings keep this one close. They might be live. Give me the Vikings.
I don't know if they're live, deal, but I think that they can keep it close. Like you said, I think you hit the nail on the coffin. With Brian Flores in that defense, with that offensive line being a little banged up, I think they'll be able to get after Jordan Love. Let's not forget, Jordan Love in this Packer offense been struggling as of late. Let's not forget they lost the last 2 home games. They lost both those games. So I don't know if I could trust the Packers at home. Definitely like the Vikings plus the points. Not for that. I think teasing either side is a good spot as well because the Packers should win this game. But not for none. I think Minnesota has a chance to at least keep it close. Like I said, with Brian Flores in that defense. And I think J.J. McCarthy, he don't need to ball out. He don't need to, go lights out, throw for 300 yards. I don't think Jordan Love is going to do that. You don't need to go out there and outplay Jordan Love. All I'm saying is you need to be somewhere near his play. You don't need to outplay him. You just can't have, a 20 QBR to an 80. Because Jordan Love is going to be somewhat accurate, somewhat efficient. He just might not light you up. If J.J. McCarthy don't turn the ball over, I think the Minnesota Vikings have a great shot at covering the spread. So I'm with you there. I also think it's a great teaser spot for either side.
All right, last game on the 1 o'clock window, and it's the game of the week, in my opinion. Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Indianapolis Colts. Colts underdogs plus 152. Chiefs laying 3.5 here at home minus 180. Total is 49.5. Colts coming off their bye. Chiefs coming off that tough loss. Call me a sucker, call me what you want, but I just think this is an easy handicap. I just don't see the Chiefs losing 3 games in a row. They are so desperate. They need to win this game. If they lose, their chance, fuck the division. Their chance if they lose this game goes from I think 60 right now to about 28 to 30% to making the playoffs. They might not make the playoffs if they lose this game, and I never thought that was even a possibility coming into the season. Backs up against the wall. We were talking earlier. I think Daniel Jones has regressed a little bit. I just can't see the Chiefs losing 3 games in a row. I think Spags, I think he will he's going to give the Colts some problems blitzing them. In Kansas City, it's going to be a rainy, windy day. The weather's going to be awful in Arrowhead. The Colts are a dome team. I just can't take Indianapolis in this spot. I'll lay the 3.5 here at Kansas City.
But I can't. Give me the Indianapolis Colts on the road plus 3.5. Don't get me wrong. Danny Jones regressed just a tad. But who the hell is the Kansas City Chiefs has shown they could beat a pretty good damn team right now? Don't get me wrong. I have faith in the Kansas City Chiefs. I still think they're a playoff caliber team. But Dill, when they need to win these games, they just haven't been able to, and they've been struggling all season long. So we saw a couple games where that offense looked alive when Rashid Rice came back, but I was also against subpar competition. Now against these mid 500 teams, above 500 teams, they struggle a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised they win. They should win because I don't think they will lose 3 straight. But I think the Colts will cover the number. I think Indiana Jones will play good enough. I think Jonathan Taylor could have himself a big game as well. And defensively, Sauce Gardner, a full week. Well, not even 2 weeks, because they're coming off the bye week with the team. I think that's going to help a little bit as well. So I think they're going to have a good game plan. And I agree with you. I think Steve Spagnuolo is going to blitz the hell out of Danny Dimes, but I think the Colts will be prepared for that. Give me Jonathan Taylor. Give me that offense. Give me the Colts plus 3.5. I think they make things interesting. I wouldn't say they're live because Kansas City shouldn't lose 3 in a row, but I think Kansas City's been doing a lot of things they shouldn't be doing all season long.
All right, let's go to the 4 o'clock window. Like I said, 4 games in the 4 o'clock window, and we will start at lovely Las Vegas where the Raiders are hosting the Cleveland Browns. Raiders laying 3.5 here at home, -200 on the money line, +168 for the Browns. Total is at 36.5. Shador making his first start in the NFL against all odds. Did you see that?
Yeah.
With the girl who said against all odds, she like made a clip that I want to see her live stream this game. I think that against all odds, that would be fucking hilarious. But I think this might be the worst game ever. I mean, I'm not watching it. What? When are the Raiders gonna bench Geno?
I think they're too invested too. I think we all know what Aiden O'Connell is.
They activated him.
I know, but we all know what he is. Let's just be honest.
At this point, he's better than Geno Smith.
We're not too sure of that. But I think Aiden O'Connell will be leading the NFL in interceptions at this very moment? No. I can say that.
Yeah.
Not my opinion, but I've been hearing some rumbles still. A lot of people saying this might be the most viewed game.
Not mine.
Like I said, not mine. But a lot of eyeballs and a lot of tensions will be on this game because Shador Sanders will be making his NFL debut. And not for nothing, we saw how bad he looked last week. If there's any team out there to get your first start against, to look good in your debut, still, could we make the case it's the damn Las Vegas Raiders? I understand they're on the road. I understand they got Max Crosby on the opposite side. But if there's a game any rookie quarterback could come in and win on the road, it's against this Las Vegas Raiders team. Their defense, we all know the Browns' defense is going to play well enough to keep them in the game. Can Shador and the offense outplay Geno Smith? That's going to be the question. Like I said, not my cup of tea, though, but a lot of people going to be having their eyes on this game. I might take the Browns plus the points. I just think defensively the Browns going to do enough to keep them in the game. Like we saw it last week against was it the
Ravens?
Hey, we saw it last week against the Ravens. Though for 2.5 quarters they were up just because of their defense. If Shador just able to get a couple first down, if Shador scores I think 6 points, they win the game.
Dylan Gabriel would have won that game.
Yeah, Joe Flacco wins that game.
Well,
Jameis Winston wins that game. So
Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
1.5 to get 6 to 9 points. I think Zach could do it. So
yeah,
I think a lot of eyes are gonna be on Shador Sanders to see if he can live up to the moment. And I have no faith in this Las Vegas Raiders team.
Yeah, I mean Geno's starting. And for that reason alone, I just can't back the Raiders. Even at home, laying points, that's disgusting.
Yeah. I feel like if Gabriel was the starter,
it'd be a pick 'em.
It'll be like 1.5 maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Shador here. I'm not his biggest fan. I don't think he's that good, but I'd rather back him in this Browns defense. Who you said the Browns defense is good, and on the road,
in the running game as well. Junkins compared to Genty, he's been the better rookie, and he wasn't a top 6 pick.
Yeah, 100%. So catching points on the road with the better defense. I'm also probably gonna parlay Max Crosby and Myles Garrett anytime sack. I think both of them could have good games. I think both of them could get 2+ sacks if I'm being honest.
I wouldn't be surprised they try to one up each other. So
yeah,
all on that though.
But this is perfect. Shador's going to win this week. Everyone's going to go crazy.
By the way, Cleveland, the last 17 quarterbacks.
Yeah, 0-17. Yeah.
0-17.
Yeah, that just shows how bad this organization is. Yeah. But that's my point. Like, Shador's going to win, right? And then he's going to lose every other game he plays this year. So that's perfect. Give me the Browns. I'll take the points as well. Let's go to Arizona. Cardinals hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars laying 2.5 here on the road, -158 on the money line. Cardinals +134. Total is 47.5. I don't know about you, but I am totally out on the Cardinals this year. I think Jonathan Gannon is on the hot seat. We don't think Kyler Murray is coming back. And they had a stretch earlier in the year where they were losing these close games, where you could kind of make the case that they were still fighting. But now they're just getting blown out. I think the team has quit. This team has quit, and I just don't like the way they've looked. And let's not forget, this Jags team, they just fucked up the Chargers last week, and going up against this Cardinals defense, who they don't look good. They've given up 40 points in back-to-back games. I just think that something's clicking for Trevor Lawrence. He's not turning the ball over. Offense has looked better the last few weeks. So, yeah, I'll lay the 2.5 here with the Jags.
Yeah, are we agreeing on something, though? Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5 on the road. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars at least proved last week they're a playoff caliber team. I don't have much faith in them. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they shown last week beating down the Chargers. They should be able to beat teams like Arizona. They'll be able to compete with upper echelon teams in the AFC. I just don't think Trevor Lawrence is, let's just be honest, a top 10 quarterback in the AFC. That's what it is. Do I think he's better than Jacoby Brissett? Absolutely. Do I think the running game is a little better with all the injuries we've seen on Arizona in the running game? Absolutely. And not for that, defensively, I think Jacksonville got the edge as well. I think Jacksonville is a better team here. Give me Jacksonville Jaguars -2.5 on the road. Oh, yeah, and by the way, no Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to miss his second game in a row. So
he's done. They've quit. They've quit. They don't need to play anymore. Like, everyone wants to talk about, Jacoby Brissett broke an NFL record. That shit was in garbage time. Who gives a fuck? This team's trash. I'm done with the Falcons. Well, we're talking about them next, but I'm done with the Cardinals. Falcons on the road taking on the Saints. Saints laying 1.5, -134 on the money line. Plus 1.5 for the Falcons. Total is at 114. Honestly, I can't believe the Saints are favored here, but it is Kirk Cousins, and who the hell knows what we're gonna get out of him this week. He has had a full week to prepare against all odds, but Raheem Morris, I just think, seriously though, like on a real note, I don't think he's a good coach. I really don't. We've been talking about that. I think me betting the Falcons last week might have been the worst decision I've ever made in my life. And you've known me. I've made some pretty bad decisions. But based off that last week alone, I just can't back the Falcons. I'm still hurt off for that. It's disgusting, but I'm going to take the Saints here at home as a favorite. I just think all the momentum and all the confidence in this Falcons team is gone. Drake London is out, and I think number ones being out matter to this offense and how they're going to perform. I don't think Kirk Cousins has anything left. I think he should retire at the end of the year. Saints are coming off a bye. They're fully healthy. Kellen Moore has had 2 weeks to prepare for this game. I think they're the right side. The market is favoring them for a reason. It's disgusting, but I'm going to take the Saints here.
I agree with you on one thing. It is disgusting. But give me Ken Folk Cousins. Give me my first Cousins.
He's terrible.
He might be. But give me Kirk Cousins full week of practice. I think he could outplay the rookie. Don't get me wrong. Do the Saints deserve to be favored?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But let's just be honest. Atlanta at least been competitive these last couple of weeks. We saw him against the Patriots. We saw him against the Colts. And even last week, Kirk Cousins came in the game. They didn't look that good. But I think they're due for a win. Not for none. I think they're due for a win. I understand no Drake London. Bijan could have a good game. We saw Kirk Cousins and DeMar Mooney have a pretty good connection last season. So I think Kirk Cousins in the dome. I think he go out there and outplay the rookie. One game, Kirk Cousins could go out there and ball. Saints defense is okay, but I think Atlanta's defense is a little better. I think they got the edge in the running game and Bijan Robinson. Give me Kirk Cousins. Give me the +2.5 with Atlanta Falcons.
All right, let's go to the last game on the 4:00 window, and it is the Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles laying 3.5 here on the road in Jerry World, -176 on the money line, +148 for the boys. Total is at 47.5. It's ugly, but all the Eagles do is win. Their offensive line is a little banged up, which worries me a tad, but I think they'll be fine. I think the offense and I think the defense, excuse me, Jalen Carter, he has had this game circled since spitting on Dak week 1. And the Eagles are wearing their Kelly Green jerseys. 5-0 straight up since they brought them back. So a little trend for Eagle fans out there. But Cowboys on a short week, they rallied to win that huge emotional game for their player, for their teammate who passed away tragically. So they were always going to win that game. Emotional spot. They were out in Vegas partying. We saw CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. They missed curfew. They were at the Red Rock Hotel. We don't know what they were doing. Allegedly gambling. Who knows? Probably drinking too. They're not focused. This is a major letdown spot for Dallas. Jalen Carter's going to eat anytime sack. Give me Jalen Hurts. Super Bowl MVP. All he does is win. Give me the Eagles laying 3.5.
Though I alluded to last pod, I just go back to week 1 and how the Cowboys surprised the Eagles, and there were just a couple drops from CeeDee Lamb for winning the game outright in week 1 in Lincoln in Philadelphia. So I think the Cowboys getting the +3.5 at home. Not for nothing though, that offense has been pretty damn good all year. I think I can make the case they're a top 5 offense. Dak, I think top 5, top 6 in passing yards. George Pickens is top 5 in receiving yards. We know CeeDee Lamb is a top 5 wide receiver, and not for nothing. Quietly, Dale, guess who's number 5 in rushing in the NFL? Javonte Williams. So there's no doubt the offense is capable of putting up some numbers. It's just, can their defense hold up? And not for nothing, though, we saw Quentin Williams have himself a hell of a debut. If the defense could just play all right, I think the offense could do enough to not just cover the spread. I think they could do enough to beat the Eagles outright at home. This has been a trend for years. For past years, they always somehow split the season, injuries or not. I think the Cowboys, I'm going to take the +3.5. Also take their live dogs.
Sunday Night Football. Let's go out to SoFi Arena where the Los Angeles Rams are hosting Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Rams laying 6.5 here at home, -340 on the money line, +275 for the Bucs. Total is at 49.5. Bucs are still banged up. I know everyone wants to bet Baker as a dog, and it's tempting, but I can't. I really can't. Bucky isn't playing. Godwin is still out. And the Rams are just rolling right now. And Baker hasn't been good at night in these primetime games. Can you guess what his record is straight up in his last 13 primetime night games?
Money line, straight up, not ETS.
Yeah, straight up.
13 games. I'm going to say 4-9.
2-11 straight up in his last 13 games. 4-9 ATS. Bucks just let the Bills put up 40 points, and we just saw the Bills last night, and that wasn't a good offensive performance. I think this is an awful travel situation as well. They went from Tampa to Buffalo, back to Tampa, all the way on the West Coast. I just don't think the Bucks can hang offensively. Matthew Stafford is playing like the MVP right now. They're not banged up. Great teaser leg, but I'll lay the 6.5 with the Rams.
I agree with you, Dill. I think this is a tough spot for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a tough 3-game stretch. You had my Patriots, you had Buffalo last week. Now you got the Rams. Shit, you got 3 MVP caliber quarterbacks back to back to back. So that's tough. Don't get me wrong. I want to take the points. I kind of want to take the under 49.5 too. I think not for now. I think it's gonna be more of a defensive battle, but I just can't see myself taking the points with Tampa. I just feel like it's a tough spot. Matthew Stafford and this Rams offense is just playing on another level since Puka Nacua came back from injury. Devontae Adams, he's been the number 1 red zone target. He's favored. I think minus 143 anytime touchdown. I was looking at that prop as well. I like the Rams. I do agree with you. I think it's a great teaser spot as well, but it's just a tough night for Tampa. I think it's a great game to watch, but I'll probably lay the 6.5 with the Rams here.
All right, time for our lock, dog, teaser, and prop of the week. We will start with you, kid. What is your lock of the week?
Still, between me and you, I've been struggling with the lock for a couple hours now. Kind of want to lock up my Patriots. I kind of want to lock up Chicago. Like I said, if Mason Rudolph is the quarterback, so I want to start there. If Mason Rudolph is the starter, we're gonna go Chicago minus 2.5. But if he ain't, they'll give me the Jacksonville Jaguars on the road minus 2.5. I'm gonna take Trevor Lawrence and the Jags here. I think this is a very winnable game, and this should cover this number easily. We saw them beat down, in my opinion, and I think Dylan would agree, a pretty good Chargers team. The Cardinals ain't that. You should be able to win this game. If you beat the Chargers last week by like 20, you should beat the Cardinals by at least 17 on the road. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars. They should win by a touchdown plus.
My lock of the week, I'm going to lock up the Seattle Seahawks, laying 13.5 here on the road. I think this is a great spot. I think this is a great spot for them. They are 6-24 ATS in their last 31 games. Cam Ward, he has no weapons. How do they put up 10 points against this defense? We want to back Seattle on the road. So a great bounce back for Sam Darnold. I'll lay the 13.5 here with Seattle as my lock. I'll start with my dog. One of the games, I think we disagree on about a half of the games. One of them is one of the first games we talked about. I'm going to take the Steelers. I don't care if it's Mason Rudolph or Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to back Mike Tomlin as a dog. I think this defense last month, I would say, has gotten its shit together. Think they're going to get after Bears, and I don't think the Bears defense is that good. And I just think the Bears are a flawed team. So I think they're going to be able to get to Caleb. But if Caleb doesn't get sacked and he eludes and they keep a clean pocket, he might be able to pick them apart. Hand up. I'll admit that. But I'm going to take the Steelers plus 120 as my dog.
I like it, though. I like it. Because if Aaron Rodgers does play, it like I said, discount double check might happen. I'm not going to lie. For my dog, I know you don't love it. I love my dog, Dill. I'm going to take a top 5 offense versus a bottom 10 offense. Give me the Dallas Cowboys plus 155 on the money line. Keep the 3.5. I think the Cowboys win outright. Like I said earlier, Eagles, they were top 5 offense last year. I think Jalen Hurts was averaging damn near like 250, 240 passing yards a game. That's below. We saw multiple games this season. He had 140 yards passing or lower. Saquon Barkley was averaging, I think, 126 rushing. He's averaging 66 yards per game this year. A.J. Brown was averaging, I think, 81 yards last season. He's averaging half of that this season. The offense ain't the same. Kellen Moore's not there. We saw them win a nip-and-tuck game against the Lions. I think the Cowboys at home, I think that offense is going to keep rolling. Give me the Cowboys plus 155 on the money line.
All right, let's get to the teaser of the week. I'm going to stick with the 3-legger. I'm going to teaser Patriots down from 7-1. I think this is a great spot for that. I'm going to tease the Rams down from 6.5 to 0.5. And it's a Monday night game, but I am going to tease the 49ers down from 6.5 to 0.5 against the Panthers. So 3-leg teaser. All of them just need to win by a field goal plus 140.
Still. I like that. Love the curveball for Monday night as well. So you're juiced. You're invested all week.
Yeah, I'm all week. Yeah.
My 3-leg 6-point teaser at plus 140. I'm surprised you don't got this team in there. Give me the Minnesota Vikings.
I thought about it. I thought about them for my dog of the week, honestly.
Yeah, plus 12.5. For anybody listening out there, you could go back to every episode this year. I have not advocated once for J.J. McCarthy and this Minnesota team. But this week, tease them up to 12.5. No way they lose by 10. No way they lose by 10. Give me the Vikings to 12.5. Give me the Dallas. I already told you I took them as a dog. I took the 3.5. Let's get them +9, Dill. Give me Dallas Cowboys +9. And then to end it off, I'm going to take one favorite. I'm going to take my favorite. Give me the Detroit Lions to -4.5. Coming off a loss against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday Night Football. I think they bounced back at home, like I said. Wouldn't be surprised if the offense scores 30+ points. That's my 3-leg 6-point teaser at +140. Minnesota 12.5. Dallas +9. Detroit -4.5.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, kid. For our prop segment of the week, it is brought to you by Props.Cash, the best way to research your player props. Elvis and I have been using Props.Cash for 2 years now, and it's helped us find an edge in several player prop markets on the web or on the Props.Cash app. You'll get quick visual data on player trends, matchup history, and recent performance across every major sport. Clean, reliable stats that make it easy to spot value. Plans start at just $19.99 a month. And right now you can get 25% off your first month with code DREAM25. That's DREAM 25. So download the app, not now, but right now. Sign up with the monthly subscription. Use code DREAM25 and you'll be paying just $14.99 your first month. Level up your prop research today at Props.Cash. Interested to see where you're going here with your prop. Before you speak, though, you are on mute.
Now I had to mute myself though because the dogs is going over there crazy.
Who's over? Who came over?
Nah, nobody came over. They were like, "I want to play." It's been an hour, Dad. Dill, this trend right here, I did some research on it, and I love this trend. I got burnt on yesterday with Dalton Schultz. I'm gonna follow another trend. Sammy D, Dill. Give me Sammy D. What's the exact number? Over 240.5. He's 4 or 5-0 this season on the road at this number. He's on the road tomorrow at Tennessee, coming from a loss. Last week on the road, 279 against the Rams. Week 9, 330 on the road versus the Washington Commanders. Against Jacksonville, week 6, 295. At Arizona, week 4, 242. At Pittsburgh, week 2, 295. Give me Sammy D on the road over 240. He hasn't went under this mark all season on the road. He's 5-0. Give me the trend. Give me Sammy D over 240.5 -110.
I do like that. I'm going to go to your team, and I am going to take your boy. Where is he? Hunter Henry, over 40.5 receiving yards. This is, well, now it's down to 39.5, but I love it. He went over. He had 45 last week. Cincinnati, 32nd in the league versus tight ends. They can't guard tight ends to save their life. Atlanta, he had 51. He had it in the beginning of the year. He had 90 against Pittsburgh, 46 against Buffalo. He's done it against good defense. I think Drake May is going to light him up here. Over 39.5. I know he's only averaging 36 on the year, but this is a really good matchup for him. I would even ladder it as well. So over 39.5 receiving yards, you could get that at -114 as well. I was also looking at Zach Charbonnet, anytime touchdown. When they get into the goal line, they just use Zach Charbonnet for whatever reason. They don't even use Kenneth Walker. So we watched the game on Thursday night a few weeks back against Arizona. They just put in Zach Charbonnet 3 times at the goal line. So, yeah, I like Zach Charbonnet. You could get that at -110. So Zach Charbonnet, anytime touchdown as well. I like that.
I like that, though. I like that. Just because, like you said, for some reason, for all the Kenneth Walker III fantasy owners, I apologize. But when they're anywhere near that goal line, 8 yards away,
they're using Zach Charbonnet.
Gonna go to Zach Charbonnet, or for some reason, the tight end AJ Burner is gonna get a QB sneak. He's gonna.
Yeah. I like that. All right, kid. Let's go to college week 13. What do you like here? Alabama has to bounce back after that tough loss against Oklahoma.
Yeah, tough loss against Arizona, Dill. But to be honest, too many high spreads that do I want to lay 50.5 with Alabama? No. Do I want to lay the big number against Rutgers with Ohio State? No. The only one I kind of like is UNC to 10 plus 10.5 against Oregon, but Oregon has been such a powerhouse. It's hard to take UNC. Um, yeah, I honestly don't really love anything this week. Too many high spreads. It's honestly a bad week as well. Week 13. So I was like, you know what? Let me let Dylan take it away before I give people some bad picks.
I do like Louisville. I've backed Louisville so much this season. I do think they could bounce back here. They're underdogs against SMU on the road. Just think they're better coached, and I think this is a great bounce back. They need to win this game. So plus 2.5, I think it's a good teaser spot as well if you want to tease them up. But I like that. Arkansas, Texas. I'm not high on Texas, as you know. I don't think Arkansas is that good either, but they can score the ball. So plus 8.5, I think that's a good pick right there. Kentucky, Vanderbilt. We've been back in Vanderbilt this whole season, but not this time. Give me Kentucky plus 9.5 here. I also like Florida. They haven't had a good season, but Florida money line or plus 3.5. Do you know when the last time Tennessee won in the Swamp? Can you guess what year?
If you're asking me, I'm gonna say 1996.
No, not that, but
Oh my God.
2003.
Damn, that was pretty damn close.
Yo, it's been they can't win. It's the environment. Give me Florida plus 3.5. Give me money line. And this is a in battle, in state battle between TCU and Houston. I'll take Houston. I just think they're the better team right now on the money line. It's a small spread, minus 1.5. If you want to take the spread as well. I didn't love the board this week, if I'm being honest. So those were the kind of ones that I've already bet. So those are the ones that I like. Kid, NBA for Saturday, 7 games. I feel like the only good matchup outside of the Magic and Knicks game, maybe the Bucks and Pistons, but Giannis is hurt, so he probably won't be in the game. It's an ugly slate, but anything you like here for Saturday?
Best Saturday. We all know, NBA really gets its best basketball on the weekends after the football season. So it is what it is. I have a couple games. I have three plays. Let's start. I think your New York Knicks versus the Magic might be the marquee matchup of the day. Knicks taking on the Magic. In Orlando, Magic catching 1.5 at home, over under sitting at 229.5. I'm gonna lay the 1.5 with the New York Knicks on the road. Don't get me wrong, Knicks did look good the other night. Magic won 4 out of the last 5 games, but I think right now, with Brunson, with Karl Anthony Towns, I understand they're still missing OG. I think the Knicks just got it right now. So give me the Knicks minus 1.5 on the road. Next game, Atlanta Hawks taking on New Orleans Pelicans. They just fired my boy Willie Green, who I think honestly is a good head coach. I think the Pelicans is just a terrible organization. So I'm gonna lay the 6.5 with the Atlanta Hawks on the road here. And then my last game of the night, Sacramento Kings taking on the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets laying 13.5 at home. Over under sitting at 236.5. Still, call me crazy. I know Denver is probably going to take care of business of the game, but you and I both know Denver could care less about covering spreads. Give me the 13.5 with the Sacramento Kings. I think they backdoor cover.
What's going on with Kawhi? Why isn't he playing? Why is he always hurt?
I'm gonna be honest. I think Kawhi is content with his career.
You think?
I think Kawhi always, ever since, I'm not gonna say his second finals run because he was sitting out before he went to Toronto, but I feel like Kawhi always been as enough for that. I think Greg Popovich needs to take either credit or blame for it, for not rushing to come back anytime. There's some players like Kobe always said. There's a kid out there, or their parents did what they had to do so the kid could come watch me play. So I'm gonna play hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other players out there. I think Jason Tatum is like that even though it's a random game on a Tuesday in late January. They're gonna go out and play in Charlotte. They're
Yeah.
gonna go play and years ago in Milwaukee, in Portland. So I feel like Kawhi he's just not that guy. I think he's a great overall basketball player when healthy, but is he gonna go out there at 90%? No. I think Kawhi Leonard is gonna play when he's 100, 110%.
I just don't even think he's ever gonna be like 100 or 90% anymore. Like, I think I agree with you. I think he's really content. He's just like, I'm getting paid regardless. I'll go out there once a week. I'll play ball. Like,
at the end of the day, bro, he beat the Miami Heat, was the Finals MVP, shut down LeBron, and then he went and beat the arguably the greatest team of all time.
But don't you think he's doing the organization for the Clippers a disservice at this point? Like, you're not playing.
Yes, but I'm just telling you what.
Yeah. No, I agree with it. It's just unfortunate, like if I was a Clipper fan, I'd be like, damn. I guess the biggest surprise also, not just them, because we knew Washington, they've won one game. We knew the Pacers, Brooklyn. Honestly, biggest surprise, like worst team that's doing bad for me that I've seen, Dallas. Hand up, I was wrong. I was wrong about Dallas. And the total, the over 18 or 19 and a half wins for Toronto, looking good. We're 10-5, first place.
Toronto's looking good. You was definitely right about that one. I'm gonna say my bigger shocker to me, honestly, has been the Pelicans. Call me a fool. I had some faith. Look around, I didn't think they were gonna make the playoffs, but I thought they would have won at least 30 to 35 games, and that's not looking anything close. And not for nothing. I understand Sacramento lost a couple pieces, but they still have, Sabonis, Zach.
He's out 4 to 6 weeks now.
Yeah, so this have DeMar DeRozan. Like, they got some guys. So only win 3 games thus far. To me, that's a little shocking. So, I knew my Nets wouldn't be that special. I didn't think the Pacers will be at 2 wins right now, even with all the injuries. And not for nothing, I didn't expect Dallas to be good.
No.
I expected more of the 4 wins than.
Yeah, it's been bad. At least Cooper Flag's been okay, but yeah, they are not good at all. Yeah, they're not good. But all right, kid. Any big plans for you this weekend?
Honestly, I don't even know. I think I just gonna buy a few things to prep.
You start Christmas shopping?
No, personally,
me either. No, I haven't.
Nobody's shit for Christmas. I moved into my apartment, and that I'm kind of upset because I got hit with the news, I think, last week, because my spot is spacious. That's the word, spacious. I'm hosting Thanksgiving.
Wow. That's nice of them to tell you this late.
Yeah, no, they told me about 10 days ago. It's just like, so we got to buy a few things.
Got to clean up.
Yeah.
Good luck, kid. Good luck. Well, enjoy. Hey, I'll see you at the game, right? I'll be at the game. Enjoy. If you're at the bank, I'll come say hi. Might be a little later. I'm gonna try to drive home, so we'll try to be there around 7 for Sunday night. But enjoy the games. Good luck on your bet, and we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Don't lose your voice.
No, I'm not. I don't even know if I'm gonna. I'm not even gonna wear like my Garrett Wilson jersey. I'm just gonna wear a coat. No fandom. Just gonna enjoy some football. Plus 13. No. I can't do that. Plus 13 and a half. All right, guys. We'll see you. Peace.